welcome to Something's Cooking with Alpa. And Mumbai and Delhi's street food is just absolutely out of this world. Today I bring you a sharbat from the streets of Purani Delhi. This Delhi walo ki to baat hi kuch alag hai. And the name of the sharbat is also so cute. It's called Pyaar Mohabbat Sharbat. And as you guys know me, I always like to add a twist, enhance the drink, and that's what I have done. I'm going to show you two versions of Pyaar Mohabbat Sharbat. So let's look at the version 1. We're going to need some rose sharbat. I'm using Mapro. You can use raw abza. Watermelon, which are diced, cubed and de-seeded. Sabja seeds, which I have soaked in water for 15 minutes. Sabja seeds are also called as takmaria or sweet basil seeds. Rose petals, ice, chilled water and a cute glass. Also guys, do show your Pyaar Mohabbat by subscribing to us. So please do subscribe right now. And let's begin the process of making our version 1. So let's fill our glass with some couple of pieces of ice, followed by raw abza or rose sharbat, followed by takmaria and some diced watermelon. And now just 1 or 2 petals of rose, followed by some chilled water. And now we are simply going to stir it all in. Isn't that so absolutely gorgeous? I know it is. I absolutely know it is looking gorgeous. Okay, now time for me to taste. I absolutely cannot resist this drink, and nor shall you. And cheers. Absolutely amazing. It is so light, so refreshing, perfect for a daytime when you want to have something light to drink. Perfect drink. The watermelon adds a really good crunch to this dish. Perfect. So now let's move on to our second version. This version of Pyaar Mohabbat Sharbat is going to be kids' favorite. It's filling and it's very refreshing. Just 2 different ingredients. One is milk and one is vanilla ice cream. So let's begin making our Pyaar Mohabbat Sharbat. So first goes in the ice cubes, followed by the rose sharbat, then the sabja seeds, followed by the watermelon. Now let's add the milk, and now let's stir it all in. It's time to add our favorite ice cream. Let's top it up with some rose petals and a little bit of the rose sharbat. Perfect. Doesn't this look like oasis in a desert? Amazing, isn't it? I'm going in. Really good. Absolutely delicious. I have to have a little bit of ice cream as well. Guys, you have to make this. This is so refreshing. I'm sure your kids are going to love it. Make it and enjoy it with your family. I hope you enjoyed spending time with me, and I will see you later. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello everyone. Welcome to Something's Cooking with Alpa. And whenever you're thinking of an Indian snack, the name samosa always pops in your mind. So let's make your kitchen your family's favorite restaurant by making North Indian Style Samosa. To make the Aloo Samosa, you're going to need 2 cups of all-purpose flour, that is maida, 5 to 6 tablespoons of vegetable oil, 1 teaspoon of carom seeds, which is ajwain, little bit of salt and cold water. For the filling, what you're going to need is 5 medium-sized potatoes which are boiled, and I have refrigerated them overnight. Half cup of peas, that's muttar. Half cup of cilantro, that's dhania. 6 mild green chilies chopped. Half teaspoon of cumin seeds, that's jeera. Half teaspoon of fennel seeds, that's sauf. Half teaspoon of ginger paste. Half teaspoon of garlic paste. 5 to 6 cashews. For the masala, you're going to need pinch of asafoetida, which is hing, half teaspoon of cumin powder, that's jeera powder, 1 teaspoon of coriander powder, that's dhania powder, half teaspoon of Kashmiri red chili, 1 teaspoon of mango powder, that's amchur powder, half teaspoon of garam masala, half teaspoon of black salt, that's kala namak, half teaspoon of chaat masala, and a little bit of salt and oil for frying, and we are set. So let's start first making the dough. So in our all-purpose flour, which is maida, I'm going to add the ajwain, salt, and the vegetable oil. And we're going to mix this all in, and we're going to mix this for at least 5 minutes. This is perfect, guys. Look at it. When you hold it like this in your hand, this is how it should form. And when you break it, this is how it is, you know. This is perfect. And the mixing for 5 minutes is very crucial, because if you want that khasta layer, outer layer of the samosa, you need to mix it for 5 minutes. And now we are going to add some cold water. Guys, our dough is ready, and see how tough it is. And when you break it, see, it's not very moist. That is exactly how you want your dough to be. And for 2 cups of all-purpose flour, all I added was 100 ml of water. And now I'm simply going to take a wet cloth, cover it up, and keep it aside for the next half an hour. So let's meanwhile start working on our filling. So for the filling, take the potato and using your hands, crush them. I always prefer to crush the potatoes using the hand for the samosas. That doesn't give you that, if you use that potato masher or anything like that, it's going to give you mushy potatoes, which you don't want. So this is how you do it. See, our potatoes are nicely mashed in. Now let's keep it aside for the moment. And in an kadai, I've added some oil. Once it's hot, let's add some jeera. So once the jeera starts sizzling, let's add the sauf and the hing, followed by the garlic and the ginger paste. And let's stir it in, and let's cook it for about 30 seconds. Time to add the green chilies, followed by the potato. Mix it all in. After a minute or so, let's add some salt. Mix that in as well. Guys, once the salt is nicely mixed in, it's time for us to add the green peas along with all of our masalas. Mix it all in again. After 5-6 minutes of cooking, we're going to add the cashews and the dhania and mix that in as well. And now it's time for us to turn off the flame and let this filling come down to room temperature. So after half an hour, our stuffing or the filling is also at room temperature, and so is our dough. Look at it. Now let's remove the cloth and let's mix it again one more time. Let's refresh our dough. So guys, after mixing, I've just made a small bowl like this, and now I'm going to press it between my palms. And now on a clean surface, we are going to use a rolling pin and roll this. Okay, look at it. This is how thick I want it to be. It's almost as thick as a cardboard, I guess. And now guys, I'm going to cut it from the center. I'm using a pizza cutter. You can always use a knife. Okay, now guys, I'm going to fold this part, apply a little water over here and fold it here as well, like that. And now we are going to press it. Perfect. You see how I'm pressing this, and now it's become a cone. So make sure that you press the two ends together. Now using a spoon, I'm going to add the filling. So first I'm going to take a very little and press it down. Okay, like that. and then take a little more and then press it. Some more. It's up to you how much you want to fill your samosas, but I do like my samosas nicely filled with the filling. Now guys, take a little water, apply it at the edges. Now taking this part, see here we have joined the edges together, so take the part which is behind it and pull it forward and press it, and then go on pressing like this. And then give it a nice fold. Okay, so see, you have a nice fold over here. Should be able to stand straight. So our samosas are standing straight. That is one more way that you know that you have filled the samosas properly. So now I'm going to show you the designer samosa. Now I like to call it a designer samosa is because it looks so different and the crust is also going to be looking very different and unique. So for that, what I've done is I've already made one disc which is a little thinner than our original samosa, and I've cut it into half, and now using a knife I'm making parallel cuts approximately ½ inch apart, and you can see they are not edge to edge. So this is what you need to do just on one side of this disc. And now we are just going to apply very little water on the surface over here, just on one side. Now we take this other side and we land it on top over here like that. Perfect. Lightly dab it. As we are making a samosa, we do exactly that same thing. We follow the same process. So we fold it, apply little water, take the other side and fold it here. Just double check, make sure that you have nicely sealed the edges. So once the cone is ready, now it's time for us to fill it. So as usual, add very little amount at the bottom, press it in, and then start filling the rest. So nicely filled in. Now time for us to seal. So apply water on the edges and then press it together. Press the edges at the bottom together like this. Now wouldn't you call this a designer samosa? It is looking so absolutely beautiful. Now guys, it's time for us to fry this, but before we fry our samosas, we need to let them stand for at least 10 to 15 minutes. So guys, I've already taken some oil which is now pretty hot. Guys, whenever you are heating up this oil, you have to remember to heat it on a very low flame. And now let's add our samosas. Again, our oil is at the lowest flame possible. It is going to take us easily anywhere between 12 to 15 minutes for our samosas to be ready. You will know your samosas are ready once they are nice and golden in color on all sides. Don't forget to keep stirring it in intervals so that they get evenly cooked. Amazing. Look at how amazing our samosas are looking, guys. It took me exactly around 14 minutes and look how beautiful golden brown they are. Now this is looking so good that I don't feel like breaking it. So now I'm going and gonna break this and show it to you. See, look at it. It's so amazing, like proper khasta samosa, you know. This is what you call a khasta samosa. Look at that. Amazing. Now I am going in for a bite. No words. Only expressions. The outside layer, amazing. Amazing is the word for it. And the inside layer, perfect blend of spices. Welcome to Something's Cooking with Alpa, and today as I always say that I'm here to make your kitchen your favorite restaurant, and that is why I'm going to help you make this amazing dish, which is exactly restaurant type Malai Paneer, which is easy and quick to make and full of protein. So let's get started. Let's look at the ingredients. Of course, we are going to need paneer, about 150 grams. I have sliced up the capsicum into long pieces like this. This I've taken about 1.5 capsicum. Then I have taken 1.5 onion and I've sliced that as well. I've taken 1/4 cup of malai, that is fresh cream. I've also boiled 2 tomatoes. What I have actually done over here is I've boiled the water, put the tomatoes in it, and I've let the tomatoes simmer in that water till the time the skin separates from the tomato. I've removed the skin from the tomatoes and then I'm going to puree it. Now we're going to look at the spices. We're going to need ginger garlic paste, which is adrak lasun ki paste. We're also going to need turmeric, which is haldi, dhania jeera powder, which is coriander and cumin powder, red chili powder, asafoetida, which is hing, and garam masala. We're also going to need salt and a little bit of sugar. We are also going to need a little bit of oil. I am using olive oil and a nice little wok in which we can make our vegetable. So I'm just checking that my oil is heated up. I'm just going to add the asafoetida in it. Asafoetida, which is hing, starts popping like this. That's the time when you add the onion to it. So I cook this for about 90 seconds. To this I'm going to add the ginger garlic paste and the capsicum. So this looks like it's almost done. We don't need to cook it all the way through, just halfway. And now it's time for us to add the tomato puree. Now this is going to take some time, so about 2 to 3 minutes easily. So the tomato puree is cooked. We are now going to add the spices. The first goes in the haldi, then the dhania jeera powder, then the red chili powder, and the garam masala. We're just going to mix everything in together. And we've kept the capsicum, which is the bell pepper, a little crunchy. It needs to have a little crunch. So now the masalas are all mixed in. I'm going to add a little bit of salt in here. And I'm going to add the cream. I'm just going to add half of the cream right now. And I'm going to mix this all together. Now we're going to add the paneer cubes. Mix this up and add the rest of the cream. Now this is going to be nice and rich and creamy. So I've cooked the paneer for about 2 minutes or so, and then I am now going to add some sugar. Once we add the sugar, we are going to cook it for another 30 seconds or so, or till the time the sugar melts, and we are ready. I can't wait to try this out. Come on, let's give it a try. Hot, but really good, really good. It is so delicious, so creamy, so soft. The paneer is so soft, and I can't wait for another bite. I'm actually going to go in for another one. The gravy has come out so good. The creamy texture is just perfect. Hello everyone, welcome to Something's Cooking with Alpa, and today we are going to make The simplest, easiest, cheapest cake ever. We're gonna make it without eggs and without oven. That's right. So let's make your kitchen your family's favorite restaurant by making Parle G Cooker Cake right here, right now. So let's begin. Let's see what you're going to need to make this dish. So for this recipe, you are going to need about 250 grams of Parle G biscuit. Now this comes for around 20 rupees and you get 4 of these packets in it. So that is that, and you're also going to need 3/4 cup of powdered sugar, 1 to 1.5 cup of milk, half teaspoon of vanilla essence, half teaspoon of baking powder, your choice of toppings. I'm taking walnuts. You can also go with tutti frutti. So let's begin with making the powder out of these Parle G biscuits. So let's add all of these Parle G biscuits into our blender. Our Parle G biscuit powder is ready. Now let's take a big mixing bowl and add this Parle G biscuit powder. Then let's add some powdered sugar, some vanilla essence, and the baking powder. And let's mix these ingredients well together. Now it's time to add milk. I like to add little as we go. Right now I'm going to add about 1 cup of milk to this powdered mix. And then we are going to mix it properly. Looks like, guys, I am going to need a little bit more milk. So I'm going to now add the other half cup of milk. Let's mix it. Now to our batter, we are going to add our choice of toppings. If you like tutti frutti, you add tutti frutti. My choice of topping is walnuts, and trust me guys, it tastes absolutely amazing. So let's add that, mix it in. Don't forget to keep some for topping later on. Time to get our baking pan ready. So let's grease the baking pan very generously with butter, and you can also use oil if you wish. Then sprinkle it with some regular flour, which is roti ka atta. Make sure that all of this baking pan is coated properly. Now you lightly move it around like this so that the flour coats every inch of this baking pan. Come on now, let's pour this batter in the baking pan. Tap it lightly on the counter so that all the air bubbles, if there are any, escape. And now it's time to top it with some toppings. It always has to look good, right guys? Now take the pressure cooker, add a stand in the pressure cooker, and turn the flame on and heat for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, add your baking pan, cover the lid, remove the whistle, and cook on low flame for 25 minutes. 25 minutes are down, guys, and let's open the lid and see where we are at. Now guys, let's take a toothpick or a knife, whatever you have handy, and pierce it in the center of this cake batter. If nothing sticks onto the toothpick or your knife, that means your cake is ready. So now I'm just going to cover the lid, turn off the flame, and keep it like this standing for the next 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, let's remove our cake and put it on a stand. Be very careful because it is still going to be very hot. Now I'm simply going to take a knife and run it around the corners. This is going to help our cake to come out very, very easily. Now let's just wait for 10 more minutes for our cake to cool down a little bit more. I know my friends, you must be getting impatient, but all good things come to those who wait. So just 10 minutes, I promise. hardest 10 minutes are over. Now let's just take a plate and put it on top of our cake. And very gently we are going to turn it upside down. Now let's take another plate and place it on top. And then we again flip it over. And voila! Isn't this cake looking absolutely gorgeous? Amazing. It's just absolutely amazing. It has come out really great. I know guys, I should wait for another 15 minutes. But you know what? I am so impatient. I honestly cannot wait any longer. So I am going to cut in. And see how soft and spongy it has come out. Amazing. Okay, enough of that. I am digging in. So delicious. You cannot believe this is made out of Parle G. So spongy, so amazing. You have to make it today. Just make it today and let me know what you think of this cake. And I will see you very soon, guys. Take care. Bye bye. Do subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Bye.